Yeah, welcome back to Life Skills Computer Training and Consulting Limited. In this video, I'm presenting developing HTML page. In our last topic, we look at HTML basics. I explained the meaning of tag. That is, you develop a website by writing HTML tags. And I took time to explain different types of tag, and at the same time I explained the structure of a web page and the elements that make up a complete page. Now, in this video, we want to go into the practical session where I'm going to apply all that I explained in the previous video. Remember, I said that a typical HTML page, that is a web page, we follow this structure. You have document declaration type. I explained this in the last video. Then you have HTML. Then when we have the opening tag, there must be closing tag preceded by // like we have the closing HTML here. Then immediately after HTML, you have the head tag. And in between the opening and the closing head, we have the title tag. That is the title that will be displayed on your browser, the title of your web page. Then, I explained in the last video that after the head tag, we have the body tag. The body tag will hold the content of your site. That is the part that the visitor to your site will see. So we have the opening body and the closing body. Now take note that apart from the document declaration, everything is wrapped between open HTML and the closing HTML. But the real content of your site is between the body and the closing body. Now in the last video, I tried to explain different type of HTML element or tags that we have. We have paragraph tag, we have heading tag, we have a horizontal line tag, we have unordered list and the list item, then we have a ordered list, UL and OL tag. Practically we are going to look at, we are going to see what they do. Then we also have bold tag. I took time to explain this, and this italic tag. Then we have break tag, for jumping from one line to another or for breaking a line in your page. Then we have a image tag, when you want to insert image into your page. Then we have anchor tag. Now, let's open our notepad. Let's open our notepad. You go to start button if you are using Windows 7. If you are a user of Windows 8 Windows, you go to your desktop, you type notepad, and from the result you'll be able to launch your notepad. So I'm using Windows 7 edition of Windows. So when I click on start button, well, I have notepad in my start menu. But assuming you don't have notepad there, if you click on all programs, you click on all programs, you go to accessories folder. Click on accessories folder as I'm doing now. Then under accessories, we have a calculator, command prompt, and others, and paint, and notepad. There are many tools here that are very powerful that many users of a computer don't know. Now, here I want to show you the power of notepad. So click on notepad. This is notepad. And for the sake of this training, I changed the font size. You can see that it's a little bit bigger. It will be bigger than yours. And I changed it here. Look at format, font. I even want to make it bigger. Well, I think 22 is okay. I have 22 is okay now. So it can be bold so that my learners can see it. Now, to develop a web page, we are going to start with tag. We are going to write tags. So your tag is between less than and greater than sign. Now the first tag is a doc, we call it a doc tag HTML. That is the first tag. This is the tag to show that I'm using HTML version 5. And in the previous video, if you are going to use a previous version like version 4, HTML4, the document declaration tag is different. You may have to copy it and paste it from somewhere. But in this training, we are using version 5. Then after that, we have the HTML itself. Then in order not to forget, you quickly close it. You close it by having the closing tag. Like I said, every opening tag must have closing tag, except some few tags that don't have a closing tag. And the closing tag will be preceded, that is, you have / before it, like I have it here. So after HTML, we have head tag, and don't forget that we are going to have a closing head. After head, we have a body. But don't forget to put closing body immediately. Closing body. Now, this is the structure of a web page, and now I told you the content of your website is always between the open body and the closed body. So the opening body tag, excuse me, and the closing body tag, in between the two of them, you have the content of your page. Let me put a tag called paragraph P, and let me say this is, and let me use a H1 heading tag. Say this is my first website. That is the content I want people to see. Then don't forget to close your heading 1 tag, H1 tag. H1 tag. Now, this is my first website. Now you can see that I want people to see this statement on my site. That is the only content I have now. I just want to show them this is my first website, and I use H1. Like in the last topic, I said that we have different heading tag. We have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest, and this one will be very big and bold. And when I change it to H6, you see that it's going to be smaller. So this is the basic structure of a web page. Doc type declaration, HTML, then closing HTML, opening head and closing head. What's the function of the head tag? I'm going to show you shortly what head tag does. But you already know that your body tag will contain the body of your site, the content of your site, what people will see. Now let's save this. But before we save this, I want to say something. Now let's save this notepad. Let's save it in a location. If I click on File, Save. Let me save it in my document. And I want to create a folder in my document that will contain the content of my site. Now, under my document, let me create a new folder by clicking on New, or you right click here and click New and select Folder. If you don't do that, you can click on the tab here on top here, you can click New Folder. Now, I can call it my website. You can see that I'm using small letters, no capital, and there is no space. This is a very good practice. A folder that contains your website, name it with small letters is a common practice in web design and development, and I would recommend this. So when I do that, then I've already created that. Then I will double click it. I want to save my notepad. My web page written in the notepad. I want to save it in this folder called my website, and that folder is already in my document. So if I come to file name here, excuse me. If I come to file name, I will type let me call it index.html. You have to put .html then and save. So you can see that on the title bar of my notepad, my file has been saved as index. Now, what is the meaning of this? Let's go to our document. Let me click my document. Then you remember I created a folder called my website. This is the folder. When I double click it, you can see that my page, excuse me, let me close all this. My page that I'm developing, which I name as index, you can see the way it is displayed. Here it is displayed as a HTML page, like a web page. You can see this is a symbol of Mozilla Firefox because that is my default web browser. And why did I call it index? The first page of every website is going to be called index if you are using HTML/PHP technology. If you are using ASP, you will call it default. But I'm using it, we are going to use PHP in this training. So we are going to call our first page index. That is the first page that people will see when you launch your website. So you can see that I have a folder called my website, and that folder is containing my first page, which I call index. You can see that it is not displayed as a notepad document. It is displayed as a web page document. Why? Because I save it as index.html. Now,